It's 6:30.
I haven't done that in a while either.
No, you haven't. We are live on time to the minute.
Literally the minute to the second.
It's very.
Can we prove that?
It's very unusual.
Can we prove it?
We can. I mean, we can. I'm sure it'll be logged in the back end on YouTube. Hello, everybody. We have lots of people here today for our I Know What You Did Last Summer 2025 episode. We're going to take your super chats. We're going to talk about whatever you want us to talk about. And then we're going to talk about I Know What You Did Last Summer. We're going to give a non-spoiler review of the movie. And then saving it for the end of the episode of Merri Hour so everybody who hasn't seen it can stick around. We will do a full spoiler review. Cool. I want more time for that spoiler review. I'll be able to share my thoughts in a non-spoiler way as well, but I really want to dig into certain things. I'm also just grabbing a particular link that I want to share with everybody. So one of our wonderful Patreon members who I've known for quite a while is going through a bit of a tough time. His dog Grayson is not doing well right now, and he started a GoFundMe to make sure that he is helped through the medical requirements he has at the moment. So we're gonna donate all of today's super chats to Grayson's campaign. So I'm gonna drop the GoFundMe link in the live chat right here. So if you can and you want to jump in there, if you just want to, send some love in the live chat, some good vibes to Robin and Grayson, please do that too. And then all the super chats we get today, we are going to donate to that campaign. So you could also send it here and we'll pass it along.
Either way.
That is the plan. You
can donate directly, or you can have us answer questions and donate.
Either way. Whatever you prefer, we're going to do it. All right. First up here is a biggie from Mike. Happy Saturday, everyone. Can't watch live, but I just want to throw some support towards two of my favorite people in this online film community. Also, Perri loved this week's Ladies' Night with Chase We Wonders. Very happy to hear that. That'll give me an opportunity to do some shameless plugging. That is the episode of Ladies' Night that went live earlier today, and Chase is the star of the new I Know What You Did Last Summer movie. She is also excellent in the studio. Yeah. You might recognize her from Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. She's been in so many wonderful things. It was also really, I've wanted her on the show for a little while, but one of the cooler things is that we shot that in New York. It's not necessarily the first episode of Ladies' Night I've ever shot in New York, but whenever I have, we filmed them out of a junket. And that was the first time that I sourced the studio. And now that we've done it once and it went well,
now you have a location.
I'm very hopeful that we'll be able to go back to that place. And now I've got both coasts as an option, which is very exciting. So I hope you enjoy the conversation and let me know what you think about, how it looks and the sound and all that stuff. So hopefully you dig it. And thank you for the super chat, Mike. Mirror Domains, thoughts on the Mortal Kombat 2 trailer? It looked fun. I didn't watch it. I looked at the character poster.
I did watch it. I enjoyed the last Mortal Kombat reboot. I understand it's not the best movie, and I understand people have their complaints about there not being a Mortal Kombat tournament. But to me, it just because a tournament wasn't announced and that wasn't the exact thing they're doing, it still was set up like a tournament. It was a Mortal Kombat movie that had plenty of fight after fight. We had what we needed. But all that said, I do get a lot more of the OG Mortal Kombat vibe from this trailer. And also all the questions about, what Carl Urban doing Johnny Cage. What are we going to get from this? Why him? There are so many. What my mailer is, that's the mailer. Hold on. You can go get the mailer. I'll keep going.
Talk, and I'll get the mailer.
And listen, I was one of the first people to say, a Carl Urban Johnny Cage is going to be interesting because that's not what you would think of immediately for the character persona. But from the trailer, it looks like they did exactly what what I wanted them to do, and it is a older Johnny Cage who is, I don't want to say washed up, but towards the more Steven Seagal direct to DVD era, and that's going to be fun for me to watch unfold with Karl Urban. I think he's going to do great with that. They have the right approach. I am no longer have any worries about what that is. So no, I'm in on this. I think we're at the Mortal Kombat where everyone wanted the first one to be. So looks fun, looks gruesome, looks like it kicks ass. That's all I need from it.
I enjoyed the first one. I think it was, if I remember correctly, I was mixed positive on it.
Yeah.
All right, so I got this in the mail. You might have seen Matt got one too.
Cool. It's mimicking an FYC, like for your consideration package that we would usually get
for your cage collection.
Cage collection.
I'm gonna open this.
It's my number one fan. It's got the right vibe. It's got the right Johnny Cage kind of.
I'm a big fan of mailers that are very in world.
It's fun what's in there. Like it's silly what's in there, but it's also fun.
Seems like something that should go on the shelf.
And again, it does come with a DVD in there, and if you play the DVD like from on our side of it, it's the teaser that they showed before the actual trailer for Uncaged Fury. So the fact that they went all out and actually put something in our hands that like a physical media that we could watch was kind of cool. The glasses are fun too.
90%,
well, they say Johnny fucking Cage on this side.
90% of sunglasses make my head look tiny. I just sit here like this the entire episode.
Yeah, you're fine. At all the reflection, like your lights are reflecting into it. Like
look at how many ring lights I have.
You can see the setup in her eyes
so
now.
This light, this one light. Here is where I have 2 ring lights here
2 ring lights and a box light.
This one's so old that it got droopy, so I had to like most of the lights going down to the ground, so I got one to balance it out.
Droopy,
but I keep using it. Like it's barely serving its purpose. I have to get a new one.
You said it first.
Fine.
You made the illusion.
Joyous says, "May the force be with you guys." Any Star Wars tea? I don't have any tea. I don't have any tea ever.
We're not that ingrained.
If someone ever gave me tea, I'd probably forget it before I could tell someone the tea.
I have no good tea to spill, unfortunately, on anything.
No, I'm trying to think of like something stupid. I don't know. I don't have anything.
Thank you for the donation, though.
I'm not that kind of journalist. All right. Yeah. Perri Cage. It's not bad. I'll take that. Yeah. I think I'm with you too.
Fun one's first one.
I haven't seen it yet.
Not yet.
I see it soon though.
Next week.
I'm excited to see it.
Also, did not see Edington yet.
Yeah, I didn't see Edington either.
Had to prioritize.
Crazy times. There's just so much to see and so much to do right now.
Edington was interesting because it kind of just like came. I haven't heard that much about it. It just kind of released. It just kind of, hey, it's here, and like I don't know.
Yeah, there wasn't much of
it.
It didn't feel like there was much of a build up.
Like for an Ari Aster movie, it felt very. The lead up was kind of lamer. I don't know.
Am I wearing any pants? You're never gonna know.
She is. Spoiler. Gotta be awkward.
Cool. You all know I love this one.
Oh, hell yeah. I am positive on that.
I'm going to do interviews for that one next week. I'm very excited. Oh my God, it's so bright in here. Why do I have so many lights?
So they did reboot this as a series.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I know. Like no one, it's on Prime Video. Like it there isn't. I Know What You Did Last Summer.
It was like last year too, or the year before.
2 years ago on Prime Video. If you want to give it a try,
recent.
It was not liked.
Yeah,
it was canceled immediately. So they did try it. To answer your question.
I never watched it, but that is that's like one of the OG horror movies or 90s slasher movies that I love, that does not feel like it would suit the series format. But again, I didn't watch what they tried to do with it.
So I just did a whole rewatch of the first, the second, and the third, the straight to video 1, 2.
The third.
It's so bad. It's so atrocious. But like
the third is really bad.
The third at least tries something that is insane. And I hear that the show also does. It is not what you would think from the first movie and stuff like that. And they also try something that is crazy. And again, it was hated. Like it was hated when it came out. And
I remember. I've only ever seen that movie once, and it was years ago. But I remember being deeply shocked by how bad it was.
Oh, the movie. I'll always know what you did last summer. The third one, like 2006. I had never seen that before, and I was like, "Listen, let's get them all in before the new one. Let's just see it just to be always is unwatchable."
Yeah.
Fucking demon. Don't
watch that again.
So stupid.
I can. There's a bunch of reports on Collider right now that you could read too. If I don't hit all the points here, which I definitely won't, we'd be here for forever. I wrote a little piece about the Xenomorph, and there's like some stuff that I saw on set that they don't want to spoil yet. So I'll have a little more on that when the first episodes come out that you could see and read about. We ran our full group interview that we did with Noah Hawley, which was really cool. I like him as a storyteller in general, but really like the idea he has for the show. I love like the very clear passion he has for this franchise, but also building it out in a way that feels really unique. And like one of the really cool things that we got to do, and someone on the Collider team wrote a really great character breakdown with it, is when we went on this set visit, we got the opportunity to sit down and have short one-on-ones with almost every single member of the main ensemble. So they wrote up a really cool character piece where, they get like little bits about each new character. So if you want to read about who the main players are, it's a great breakdown on Collider. But it was just so cool. I mean, as a longtime Alien fan, it's one thing to just think about what it might be like behind the scenes in like, I don't know, the Weta creature shop, but like I got to stand face to face with a Xenomorph. It was wild. I can't share any of those photos yet, but I can't wait to show you guys the behind the scenes because
as a horror fan, that's bucket list.
Those folks are magicians in that department. Some of that stuff. And really, like obviously I'm a little obsessed with the creature department, but that was probably one of the most extensive set visits I've ever done. So huge thanks to all the folks on the production based in Bangkok that helped make that happen, but also the FX team members that came with us and helped to organize that, because like we saw everything. They took us to every department, to so many sets, and the detail in the costume and production design is absolutely wild. Like standing in the hybrids dorm rooms, like that's their lives. So the amount of detail, and you could see one of the pictures. I believe that picture is on the Collider Instagram account, but we have a picture up of Wendy's dorm and Boy Cavalier's office. And I highly recommend looking those up and zooming in, because there's so many things all over those sets that really, really cool. And man, I just wanted to steal everything from that costume department. I wanted every uniform. Oh,
That's so cool. Like I'm trying to think of like what if I could do a set visit for something I loved, or like something just be immersed in the world of. I think like Alien is one of those, because whether or not it's like one of your favorite movies, just the idea of again like seeing a Xenomorph or seeing that in practicality.
I stood on a Weyland-Yutani ship.
Yeah, like that's like, dope. That picture
you can see on my Instagram. Like I'm in the cryo chamber room.
That's so cool.
Like standing next to a bloody
that's
one.
Up there with like my OG kind of like. I did a video essay for the Lost in Space remake, reboot, whatever you want to call it. Like whatever. Arrow Video is releasing it in 4K, and they were like, "Do you want to do like a in defense of?" I'm like, "Yeah, I haven't seen this in a while. I can whip one out." But like talking about like just science fiction and like the sets and the building while the Lost in Space reintegration, let's say the reboot, didn't fare very well. Watching it back, I was just like, man, I wish I was on those sets still though, because they still like that was still when they were building full sets and doing that stuff for movies and like set. If I could have just stood on that set, I'm like, that's just so awesome. So it still is that feeling no matter what.
It's a really cool feeling when you stand on a set and you're able to look almost 360. I mean, some of their sets were 360 depending on where you were, but just in general, I'm really, really hopeful about the series. Like this information is out there. It's in my report, but I love the idea of setting it on Earth, where like Earth is essentially run by 5 competing corporations, and the idea of this prodigy corporation adding another type of being to the mix with the hybrids. Like we have synths, we have regular humans, there's cyborgs, like people enhanced with robotic elements, and then there's these hybrids, which is like a human conscious put into a synth body, and how that adds a wrinkle to what we know from the alien world from previous films is something that I think they're going to have like a lot to pull from. And monsters.
I'm excited.
And like the monster stuff.
Well, to me, like
I can't wait to talk about more of that.
Yeah. And to me too, like Alien especially, like, you know, we've been in space this whole time, but the idea of bringing that back and dealing with the Weyland-Yutanis and dealing with stuff on Earth and how that implicates humanity, it is something that I'm excited we're actually going to get into more. And I haven't needed it yet because, like, sure, I want to see my alien movies in space, and it's just a sci-fi horror survival movie. But as a television show that has way more time to deal with that stuff, I'm actually excited to see what they can do with that.
I'm quite pumped. And I'm going to get to cover it a little more at Comic-Con next week. So more information coming soon. There's one I wanted to hit up here.
Yeah, go for it.
I did. Did you see Sorry Baby at Sundance?
Yet. I have not.
Sorry Baby is excellent. It is one of those more limited releases that would need a significant push to get into the Oscar conversation, but that's the type of one that I think might fare really well at the Spirit Awards. I think it is. I think it is deserving of being in the Oscar conversation, and like, what an incredible feature directorial debut! It really is something else for Ava Victor. But I don't know if it's going to go all the way. A24 would really have to put a lot behind it, but that is not to say it is not deserving of that kind of honor. So I wouldn't mind seeing this wind up being a surprise hot topic in the Oscar conversation.
Yeah, I'm excited to see because I know out of Sundance there was a little bit of a downswing on excitement, let's say, for a lot of movies, and saying just like, you know, this is the first Sundance that there's no clear, like, this is going to be in the conversation later kind of stuff. So, but Sorry Baby was the one that everyone agreed on, like, if there is, it's going to be Sorry Baby.
Sorry Baby would be a big one for me. There's another movie that I saw that I think might do well in the Spirit Award realm called East of Wall, which was great. It's kind of like docu-style, and it features a bunch of non-actors, and it's so good. It really gives you that kind of like lived in feel. Like you feel like you are walking into their world with them. Just exceptional stuff. I think that is also a first feature. I feel like I want to say Sony Pictures Classics took that.
Snagged it,
but that's another one for maybe not Oscars, but other awards conversations. I would keep that one on your radar too.
Someone just asked if we saw the new Naked Gun.
I did not.
I did not. Well, I'm screening it in 2 weeks. I can say the press screening for critics is 2 weeks from now. So we got some time before Naked Gun. Bad Guys 2 I have not seen yet.
Bad Guys 2. If you want to hear a little bit about Bad Guys 2 and you're at San Diego Comic-Con, come to the Collider Ladies Night panel on Friday at 5:45 in room 6 BCF.
Clear and present.
What's going on, buddy?
Man, it's getting close to fantasy draft though. Like, that's what is going on is still there's nothing has happened of note because we've been in the holding pattern of like everyone made their signings. We're good at this point. But I'm starting to get like ready for fantasy drafts for fantasy football.
I feel so behind.
So for those who don't know, when a Caleb super chat comes up like this, we talk football very quickly. But I don't know. There's a lot of questions. There's a lot of questions of like I just had to drop Nick Chubb in my dynasty league because it's like I can't trust Chubb anymore. I had to drop a few people like Godwin. I was like, can Godwin bounce back after the injury? I might try to redraft him. I think he can. But yeah, I'm now in fantasy mode where I'm looking at drafts and it's like Christian McCaffrey. Do I believe that he can actually be a top tier pick still with his injury record? So it's getting fun though. I like getting in that mode of like trying to go up and down.
I can't wait. We need to restart our other league.
We'll get that. Me and Monogold, we'll get that back.
Get on it. Get on it, guys. I am going to be on top of the Patreon League. So if you want to get into that league, you just sign up on Patreon. It's really easy. And I'm a little behind on chats and stuff, as I always am, but I'm going to check that sign up tier by the end of the month, because we draft in August. If you don't sign up by the very end of July and get processed in August, you can't be part of the league. So just make sure to jump on that quickly. You can find the link to the Patreon campaign in the description section of this video. And it's really one of my favorite things we do on Patreon every single year. I love it so much. And I cannot wait. What's going on?
I have not read up about this yet.
What is that?
I'm literally, no. Answer, Zeno, is I have not yet. I just found the article though, and I'm going to read this later. I'm not going to do it now, but I thank you, Zeno. I'm going to read that later because that is very interesting.
Just bring that up too from Zeno, because a couple people have asked if we've seen Weapons. We're seeing it soon.
Yeah, we can actually talk about it next week, I think.
Yeah, we can.
Social drops next week. Yeah. Reviews are August. Socials next week. So I can say that me and Perri will both have things to say next week about it.
Yeah. For the remainder of the year, Wicked is definitely up there for me, and so is The Long Walk. I was just telling Amelia I finished yet another re-listen of that book. I'm a little obsessed with it, so I am very much looking forward to that one. What else am I excited about?
I wish I had lead time for that one, because I wanted to actually.
I'm just thinking off the top of my head right now. I'm excited for the new Conjuring movie, because I can't not be excited for a new Conjuring movie.
I actually am. I'm on the him train. I'm really curious to see what happens there. I want to see him
really badly.
I feel like it's going to be a big swing. And it could fail, but that's what I want to see in my movies.
Because we're promoting it at Comic-Con on our other Ladies Night panel, which is happening Thursday night at 6:45 in Ballroom 20. I have Whistle on the brain right now, so I'm really excited about Whistle. I'm excited to get a new feature film from Corin Hardy.
Oh, Running Man. I'm kind of high on Running Man.
Anything
Edgar Wright, and also the cast they assembled for that. I really want to see how he deals with the themes, obviously, that come with that in modern day. I'm just going through everything, but kind of. I just saw a title that I was like, am I excited for it?
Frankenstein is this year.
Yes, one got
Bride
pushed
of
out.
Frankenstein
Bride got pushed out. Bride got pushed out. That's 2026 now.
I'm excited for everyone to see together. I'll just bring that one up again because I can and feel like it. Black Phone 2 and Predator Badlands.
I feel bad because we're
good call, Steve.
Yeah, we're sticking more horror-y, but yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
We'll veer into the title topic now. It gives us enough time. Before we do that, just a reminder, if you want to send in some super chats today, all of that money is going to go to one of our wonderful Patreon members, Robin. He has a GoFundMe campaign for some medical costs that his dog needs right now, who is just a wonderful dog. I've met him and I love him dearly. He's a good boy, and however you can support, whether it's in this GoFundMe campaign that I'm dropping in the live chat or just by, sending good vibes out into the universe, would be much appreciated. With that, we're going to go into our review. This right here is our review of I Know What You Did Last Summer 2025. Do you want to start or do you want me to?
You haven't done a full review of this, right?
I haven't. I have not said a single thing about this movie in terms of what I think about it, at least.
I want to let you go first because I have a prediction that I'm going to hold until you do your reaction. So I would like you to go first. Go ahead.
I was scrambling to get other work done, and I just couldn't catch up in time to do a proper reaction video.
No, not against you.
So this is an I Know What You Did Last Summer movie that I think swings for the fences in many respects, and that is something in a movie that I will always respect. If you are going to bring back a franchise, you better have a good reason that isn't just retreading what's been done before. And I really do give this team a lot of credit for leaning into that and trying to do something different and add new layers to this concept. That being said, of all the new things that they added, very few did work for me. A lot of them fell quite flat, in fact. we'll get into some specifics a little later, but some of the things that really did work for me, probably the top of the list is the cast. I think that cast from the script did not get a whole lot to work with, but I think it's one of those situations where they each bring enough of themselves to the role and manage to make them uniquely their own and make some of that history very apparent, but without spelling it out, that made them feel like real enough people and made me invested in them.
I was pulling up the cast, so I made sure I had
do you want me to like? Okay, let me do my little run. I don't want to miss anybody that I feel strongly about.
Yeah, God, by all means.
I mean, Chase is on the brink because I did the ladies' night with her, but I think she's a star. Like, I think she jumps into a high concept franchise movie like this, and I think she's able to hold her own in the middle of a rather large ensemble, but also add just enough nuance to her character so she still feels like a real person. I liked her quite a bit, and I, in particular, really liked her chemistry with Madelyn Cline.
Okay.
There's a part in the movie that I'm not going to, actually 2 parts in the movie that I'm not going to spoil right now. One is a more emotional beat that I thought played really well, and another is just like the banter between the two of them just works. I think they're like pitch perfect together and have a spot on cadence where I get very caught up in their rhythm and I want more of them.
That's fair.
Jonah Hauer-King, I think, was underserved by the script more so than anything.
He has nothing to do. It's such a nothing.
And the same is true of Sarah Pidgeon. I think she gets some like real heavy lifting that I think she does the best she can with, but knowing what she's capable, a lot of I'm fully obsessed with the show The Wilds that I thought got canceled way too soon. I think this type of role was made for her, but I don't think the script teed her up for success. Sure. I thought Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. were great. I thought they stepped back into those roles like they kind of haven't skipped a beat. And there were certain things, and again, I'm going to save some of this for spoiler territory.
A lot of it.
there were certain things that they gave the two of them to do that I think was some of the smartest ideas in terms of how to continue a franchise with the legacy characters. It's just that at a point, it veers off course with what I thought that they were setting up, and the course that they pursued did not work for me. But performance-wise, I think they were spot on doing exactly what they needed to and could.
That's fair. So I was curious because I knew your reaction prior to this, obviously. Mm-hmm. We're friends and things are said. Yeah, I think it's not just for the camera. But no, I actually thought you didn't I thought you disliked this movie more than I did. But based on what you said, I think we're kind of on the same page. Because I also did not. I do not think this is a good movie. I don't hate it. I don't
hate it, but I'm negative on it.
I am absolutely negative on it. But for me, I couldn't get away from the fact that this movie wants to be Scream 5 so desperately bad. Everything it is chasing.
I didn't feel that much as much as you did.
Everything it is chasing is it felt like a Scream, like one for one in so many ways. And the problem with that is Scream has a rich lore to pull from when they're coming back to do a legacy sequel like this so long ago. And the problem here is that I know what you did last summer hasn't been relevant since the late 90s, and I understand it has its fans, but this is a much weaker franchise that has always been chasing Scream for many reasons, like not negatively. Like, of course, Scream was so good that it brought upon this meta slasher renaissance that took over horror for so long. Like, it is just following the footsteps. Like, Kevin Williamson wrote it before Scream, and it just became a movie because Scream did so good. Like, that all makes sense. But all that said, trying to make, like, I know what you did last summer, 2025, this momentous, like, we're bringing back characters you love and we're bringing the new cast in. Like, we're going to do things. We're going to evolve as an I Know What You Did Last Summer movie, but keep it silly and cheeky because it always has been. I don't think it does that. For me, like, I don't actually think Freddie Prinze and,
I'm like bursting. I wish we could talk spoilers right in this moment. We're not going to do it. Like, I think they had the idea. The idea is there to do that, to do it right.
Right.
I can't wait to pinpoint the exact moment where I'm like, fuck, they're going to knock this out of the park. And then, like, the wheels fall off.
But keeping it non-spoiler, my biggest problems, beyond the fact that it is so desperately trying to do what Scream 5 did and be the Legacy sequel in so many ways by bridging the gaps. Number one, I don't think Wonders is a great lead. I think that was the biggest problem. Oh yeah, I did not think she was a. I was talking to BJ about it, and like BJ said, she's like, Julie James is not a great final girl, and that is actually, like, as Ava Brooks as the stand-in, it makes sense that she's also not the greatest, because I think Madelyn Cline is amazing. I think Danica is the best character by far. She is pops. So funny, right?
She's got the character is written to have the personality to pop like
it that. It does. I agree with that, but like, I can appreciate a character for how they're drawn if they're drawn well. And for me, if your lead is like not really pulling me in, that's a big problem. Also, it is a movie that is clearly hampered by the studio. You can research and you can see that there are entire characters that were cut out of it. Things are choppy. I Know What You Did Last Summer is never a gore-forward movie, and it is a mystery over a slasher even. Like, if you look at the first one, like, it is silly as fuck. It's nonsense, but it also isn't about the body count. And I feel like this movie doesn't do a good job of navigating fun kills with the outcome. Like, it isn't thoughtful. And I say this in, like, you see a scene where the fisherman stabs somebody with the hook, and you clearly see you don't see it because they do it off camera, but the hook is definitely in someone and it's pulling someone up. Then you see the body later and there's no wound. The clothes aren't damaged. Like, nothing. Like, you're talking about. It happens twice. And so, like, there's no sense in the way this stuff works. Like, it's a movie without logic, and that is fun the first time, but decades later, if you want to bring me back into this franchise, you can't just recreate. And they try to do the Gen Z mentality on it, and I think that also is funny at some points, but there's not enough evolution. There's not enough building and meta here that, like, it mattered. So to me, it just felt like a bad take on the first movie without commentary and without making a point.
I'm trying so hard to remember all the things that I wanted to follow up on. When I guess this is kind of like leaning into the Gen Z of it all. I thought the podcaster element didn't work for me at all. It reminded me a lot of that, and also, like, Halloween kind of just did it. Halloween 2018, and it
Halloween
did it,
and a whole hell of a lot of movies.
And it did it that was the one, just because I love that movie so much, but like, it did it so
Halloween
much.
Is the mainstream
it did it so much better, and there were certain elements of podcasting that felt very obviously inauthentic to me. So that never really quite sat right. I struggled with a lot of the set pieces. A lot of them did not feel memorable enough to me. Whereas, a big part of the reason why I Know What You Did Last Summer became a classic and is still talked about to this day is that, I can pinpoint quite a few, but like, it's got some epic set pieces that really stick in your mind. And here, that's not quite the case. There were certain set pieces here where, we'll get into this in spoilers as well, but like, I was almost like confused by them too.
So 100%. So exactly.
I was confused. I was confused by a few things, and I'm trying not to read too much into, because there's a lot of inaccurate reports out there about how something was filmed and what was what was cut out. I don't want to lean into that too hard, but there were moments in the movie where I think I was able to spot something that was removed. The other thing, and this is probably my biggest criticism of the movie, because I think it kind of killed its effectiveness for me. I figured out who the killers were.
Oh my God, it's so telegraphed. It's incredibly telegraphed.
Way too soon. And it wasn't the type of thing where, like, lucky guess. I think they broke a really basic and obvious slasher movie rule, and it completely gave it away.
Well, and again, that goes back to the first movie where it's all about the mystery. It is all about the chase and the hunt, whatever you want to call it. I can't agree and say that there's any epicness in that first movie. I think the first movie, I Know What You Did Last Summer, the OG, is fine. And after a third rewatch, fine is even giving it too much credit.
I'm not going to say it's a great movie, but
no, I know, but like epic, I could not use that word, because I think that movie is kind of, it has its fun.
The Helen kill is one of my all-time favorite set pieces. I love it.
It's a movie. I don't have the same response. That is totally fine. I just don't have that response to it. But I think that also informs my take on this new one, because if I don't have that appreciation of the first, where I think it is this like iconic piece of slasher lore, and I think it's just a good enough movie that took off because it had a great cast, and like, sure, like, that is fair. But I get to this movie now, and I've watched, like I said, right before watching the new one, I watched all 3 of them.
Yeah.
So, like, I saw the first, I saw the second, which is, it goes heavier on the body count. That is a pure slasher, and it's stupid but fun. And, like, that's where it goes, gore heavy. And the third, again, unwatchable, dog shit. Takes it fucking demon. That's fine. But, like, that's fine. And again, you can have that opinion. That is yours. That is good. But watching all 3 of those and being like, this is such a messy franchise. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
And then again, getting to this one so closely after and being like, okay, I get that you want the nonsense to be part of it because that is ingrained in this franchise. You want it to be silly. You want it to be over the top in certain moments. But I also don't think the comedy and the horror worked super well in this reboot because, again, the Danica character does it very well. Tyriq Withers.
Oh yeah, we didn't. I felt bad when I didn't mention him earlier.
But I think the others are like wet noodles. There's nothing going on there. Like Sarah Pidgeon, you mentioned Jonah. The other supporting cast just doesn't have that much to do. And I
didn't find Ava to be that way, but I understand that criticism of the other 2 characters.
I found all 3 of them, like the newbies. There was no core 4. Like it didn't have that core 4 energy.
I thought I thought it had a core 2 energy. I was very invested in Danica and Ava's survival. That's something that I do have to give the film some credit for.
But it just felt choppy. The Podcaster is a great example where like that could have been a longer running gag, but like all of a sudden it's out of the picture and like it didn't really matter.
I was kind of glad it was out of the picture because it didn't feel. I do think that I think that the comedy did work, but I think overall it's almost like. And this is like a hard thing to figure out how to make work because, like you said, the first movie, the 1997 original, like I love it. I will fully admit that's not a great movie, but that kind of feeds into its charm for me in a way. And I think there's ways to like make that work and have fun with it and really enjoy the ride. And I just think it's a really difficult code to crack when you're bringing it back for an audience that has experienced so many slasher movies and so many slasher movie reboots since, and figure out how to embrace that but make it a good movie. And I just think this one didn't achieve that.
I mean, it's valid to say what worked in the late 90s on the back of Scream. Again, like I know what you did last summer was absolutely riding the coattails of Scream, but that was also new and fresh and fun. And to do that again, not to make this comparison like 100%, but like it is part of it. Like Scream 5 evolved. Scream 5 did take everything we loved about Scream and took it to a new level, had new commentary, and it had something to say. Where I feel like I Know What You Did Last Summer had nothing to say nothing to build upon on the original. We just did it again. And there were certain things that we can't say right now. This is all non-spoiler. Again,
I'm bursting at the seams to get to.
We should get to it soon.
Yeah. When it comes to Jennifer Kaytin Robinson's directing, like I love her as a filmmaker. I love her eye. I love her voice. I think she's like whip smart and super sharp in her direction. Not really here though, but it's one of those situations where like I don't know what was changed, but given what we see in the final film, I think there's some sort of disconnect when it comes to crafting an exhilarating set piece. Like there's something in particular about the photography that I don't really think ups any suspense at all.
This felt like studio in so many boring ways. The scenes don't have a
build, and I think it's a combination of perhaps the build not being there in the script to begin with, but also there's certain horror movie visual, like, I don't want to say tricks, that's probably the wrong word, but like tactics you could use that are known to build tension and dread and make you wonder what's around the corner. And it felt like some of those key visuals were missing.
And the pacing fell off in so many ways. Just the pacing of when kills happen versus when they don't. The pacing of like what you're saying with the tension. I think I didn't really feel that tension for such long spells. And that all leads to a kind of boring kind of watch. But at the same time, it tries things like there was a religious kind of commentary going on.
That didn't work for me at all.
Exactly. Like, but that's the thing. The podcaster, the religious, there are things it's playing with in the world of Southport but none of them are really explored because we're always going back at one point to being like, well, the first movie though, remember that, and it's like, did it work when Ray gets really stern and he makes the Bahamas line? Yeah, that's funny as hell. That is so funny and like a little cheeky callback. But then to do so much other stuff and to not have, for this movie, trying to call out nostalgia bait and saying fuck nostalgia, I don't think it's as clever as a Scream movie or stuff. Like, we've seen that so many times at this point. It's hard. And again, like, the kills aren't, that's not I Know What You Did Last Summer. Like, that's the thing. I Know What You Did Last Summer, the first movie isn't about that. But when you make a second movie that is about that, you now have to blend both of those because you've given audiences both sides of the slasher spectrum. So it's like, how do you navigate that in this one? And I don't think they navigate it super well. I think there's some really fun visuals after the kill, like two characters mimicking like being fishing trophies. Kind of a cool, gruesome image.
I didn't think that worked at all.
So I thought that was one of the only good ones. But then I go back to what I was saying before, where the logic of the kills doesn't make sense at all. Things happen off camera. It was almost like it was caught between being R and PG-13, and it didn't know what it wanted to do. And like, and maybe there were different edits. I don't like that's two. Maybe I don't know. There were different edits.
This I actually will disagree. Maybe. Well, I think we're talking about two different lines. Actually,
there could be like one or two or three lines.
I mean, this one's in the trailer, so I can say it right now. When Jennifer Love Hewitt says, "What did you do last summer?" I thought that played pretty well.
Oh, and I was going with a different one.
As I read that, I'm like, you're thinking about something else. But I thought her saying the movie worked way better than I thought it would.
And there was also the classism, like bringing up like the gentrification comedy, like because the working class movie, which is the first one, has now become the Hamptons ass rich kid movie. And
there was there was a lot of really good lore world building in this, but because there were so many distractions, it didn't feel like they made the most of this idea.
Well, and Leah McKendrick, who helped develop the story, not the script itself. I think she wrote the first script, but that got scrapped.
I think she gets a story by credit?
She gets a story by credit. But she said early on that social media would play a huge part in this. And I didn't see that in this at all. So I wonder how much just got churned through again the studio process. So
but there were so many I thought this idea was really, really good. It's
all
just
there.
not
But it's a messy as fuck movie. That's the thing. You try so many things. And you've really got to be it's got to be airtight. What you're trying has to be go full force into it. And I think we should talk about the spoilers now because that's the messiest part of this whole fucking thing.
Before we do spoilers, promote yourself, friend.
I am always here every week with Perri, Matt Donata. But no, you can follow me at Donatabomb on Blue Sky, Letterboxd, and Instagram. Also follow my podcast if you like horror movies, Certified Forgotten. We talk about horror movies with 10 or less critic reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, and we have brilliant guests on, or we just posted a review this week of I Know What You Did Last Summer. Honestly, I had BJ Colangelo on, and we're trying to go 1-on-1 now, where we do a guest episode of an old movie, and we still keep it fresh. But yeah, Certified Forgotten. Come listen to us. We're good.
Before I do my plugs, I didn't even ask, what would you rate the movie?
Oh, this one? It's a solid 2.5. I'm the 2.5
right
negative.
2.5 negative as well. That will be my review for this. You can watch the Chase Sweet Wonders Collider Ladies Night on the Collider Ladies Night YouTube channel. And she's lovely. And she's got some ambitions of working behind the scenes too. Cool. I always do excessive research whenever I do a ladies' night. And one thing that I fell upon was a short film that I think she directed and released. It might have been in 2022. And it's good. It's cool. One of those situations where there's so much soul to it that, it wasn't just someone getting lucky. That's built into a person, the ability to do that. It's called Wake. You can find it online. I highly recommend watching that and her ladies' night episode. And then again, for anybody who's going to be at Comic-Con, please join me for Collider Ladies Night Live twice. Thursday, Ballroom 20 at 6:45 p.m. And then again, Friday, 5:45 in room 6 BCF. Come celebrate with us. All right. With that, goodbye to anybody who has not seen the 2025 edition of I Know What You Did Last Summer. Go see the movie, come back, watch the end of this episode. I want to make the first point.
You go.
I've got clearly a list of criticisms with this movie. the one that is irking me the most, because this movie is made by genre fans. It's just like, this feels like a rule you should have known not to break, and it really just, I don't know, it killed the movie's chances to build any steam at that point for me. It was how quickly, spoiler, it was how quickly they revealed who the killer was.
I know.
Do you know what specific moment I'm referring to?
I don't think I do.
Do you remember the point where they're all in the house together and like they know someone's after them, and someone's, and I think it was Danica. She's like, I had someone make up the rooms for everybody so we never have to separate. And all of a sudden Stevie's like, I'm out, going to work, and she just leaves. She leaves, and nothing happens where she gets chased after. She's going back to the there's a murderer. If you're leaving your friends, if they devised that plan, I know you are guilty. And then the second I knew she was guilty and that he was the person she was working for, I'm like, fuck, they're going to make him the killer. And that was it. That was it.
For me, it was actually as early as like when they reveal that Stevie and Danica have become like besties and that stuff. Like for me, it was just like, okay, that is a weird pivot. Like trauma,
I bought
trauma
that.
Happens.
That I bought into.
No, I was gonna say trauma reactions and stuff like that. Like you've gone through something, you become like great friends. But like I was suspicious even on that note. And then the way that like they just kind of like lean into it, I was like, oh yeah, you're the one. And the way that they deal with her character throughout, it was just a finger on that pulse. And you know, whether or not you picked up the Ray stuff earlier, like when Ray finally shoots her,
this gave away the Ray stuff too.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, well that was it. It's like, okay, cool. You recognize, oh, it's you. Yeah.
And because I had this piece of the puzzle, it was this piece of the puzzle with Ray, and also, and I'll play both sides when I'm assessing this particular scene. There was the scene between Ray and Julie where he's mad at her for helping them.
Yeah.
So like when I had that and then Stevie going to work, I'm like, well, I have figured everything out. But I want to go back to that scene between Ray and Julie, because that right there is a potential good movie. I loved the idea of bringing back two legacy characters, two survivors who have different opinions on how to help kids going through the same thing. Yes. And obviously,
that's fair. That is fair.
The story, given the fact that he was the killer, wasn't what I thought that scene initially was. But I do think my initial read on that scene had so much in it. And it was like, that could have been a way to bring back the other generation and do something different with them.
Right. And I think the other frustrating part, like bringing up the religious angle before, I believe the religious leader was Jonah. I believe that was the character name or something. But like they're trying to use him as a red herring, but they're not building him at all. Yeah, so you don't have to worry about that. Like you can't be the killer because you're not actually. I
started to get a little confused with names because of that reason too.
Again, I forget his actual character name, but like
Judah.
Oh, Judah.
You're
okay,
close.
So Judah. Yeah, but again, the Judah character being the red herring and being the one we're supposed to believe that's the killer did not work for me at all. Oh man, yeah, no, it's. That whole story, like there's no mystery to it. We are now watching an I Know What You Did Last Summer movie just to be back in Southport and just to do this stuff and go through the motions. And that's frustrating because other movies, other legacy sequels that try this stuff, like there's just more meaning to what we're doing. And there's more meaning to why we're bringing it back. And this just felt like we're back because we have to be. We're back because this is what we're doing. And again, maybe that's because I didn't love the new cast as much. I think you appreciate them more.
I like them.
I felt that even more during that. But then here's the other side of it. I appreciate the fuck out of a movie that takes the biggest swing possible. And while I don't like the Ray stuff for certain reasons, just because the entire second movie is predicated on Ray saving everyone and spending the whole movie traveling to the fucking Bahamas to do it. And now he's the villain. Well, where I understand the trauma aspect of it and like everything that happens after that. I
didn't buy any of that though.
Yeah.
I think there's like two layers to this. Like I still think my initial read on that scene where the two of them can't agree on how to help the new kids going through. I think that was the movie where you're playing them as good guys, but approaching the situation in two different ways. Where like maybe one of them is stuck in the past, but other is leaning into like new horror movie type scenarios and ideas. I thought that could have been really interesting. There is something about taking the big swing of making Ray the killer that like there was something there. Potentially, but you needed another movie in between. And also the fact that in the first movie they play that game with him, like they try
Ray's
to make,
always been.
They
he's
try
always
to
been
make
the
us
like,
think
is he
he's
the killer?
Yeah. And then he's not. If you are going to make him the killer here, you either needed to build in more backstory to why he got to that point into your movie, or given me a prequel to this movie so I could buy why he would make that leap, but I didn't hear.
I mean, it's better than Texas Chainsaw on Netflix that throws fucking Sally in the trash, literally kills her and throws her in the trash. So like, at least you tried something with your legacy character where turning him into the villain has commentary. There's reason for it. And I get that.
Freddie Prinze Jr. did what he could with that too.
Did what he could with it, but I also just felt like,
we didn't talk about another scene.
Well, but their performances again felt a little flat to me because I didn't have the spark and the reinvigoration of like, oh my God, they're back. For me, that was Hell and Shivers. I mean, for me, it's the Hell and Shivers scene where that's the fun one.
Oh, I didn't like that.
Oh, see, that's the fun one. If you're going to get weird, get fucking weird. Give her the hook and let her go.
If you're going to get weird with purpose. My problem is like... purpose.
It was the Hell and Shivers talking to the Hell and Shivers of this movie.
No, I get that.
Like, no, I know. But I'm
I
saying
get that,
like...
But like, in terms of like the narrative, like... what value did it serve other than being like, cool, she came back for a scene?
We got her nostalgia moment.
I was really, really like bothered by the idea that yes, the character came back, but she's a dream version. And what does that mean? Is it the same person? Like, I couldn't make enough sense of them bringing her back besides just bringing her back to bring her back.
I mean, that kind of goes along with Scream, though, bringing back someone that's just a hallucination.
Oh, no, that's completely different. That's baked into who Sam is. She is literally haunted by the fact that she knows that Billy Loomis is her father.
Yeah, but I think there is context in the Helen Shivers scene that is translated through what she's talking to the new Helen Shivers in a way. But no, I agree. It's
I get what you're saying, and I think what you're saying is what could have made that scene work for me. But I didn't think enough of what you're saying is actually there.
I am agreeing with you that is nostalgia bait in the way that is just, here you go, have some. Here's a bone. There you go, doggy. Like that's what a lot of this movie felt like to me. It just felt like, here's another bone thrown our way to be like, you love the first movie. Here's something back to you. Here's something back to you. And it's like, so I think the biggest problem for me is the third act. It is just so fucking sloppy in the way that it actually unfurls everything. I don't think there's any real good standoff when you have the whole Stevie.
I have so many things
Ray,
to say about
everyone
that.
on the boat. The boat scene is terrible. There's no suspense. There's no drawn out anything. It just kind of ends. Then the Ray stuff, you know what's happening. And I think that also is a terrible way to end it. I don't think, again, there's a good build up to his death. So for me, I feel like they figured out they just had to end the movie somehow. And they cycled through these beats that should have taken double the time to actually build out and like generate some kind of appreciation for what we're seeing. And it had no idea for pacing. It had no idea how to do that with excitement. So for me, it's a movie that it just keeps sliding downhill until it ends. And we just get there and we're like, oh, fuck. And again, Judah, last thing I'll say, like, just cutting out the Judah angle of it and being like, oh, by the way, it's definitely not him. It's like, okay, cool. Why'd you do that?
That felt like the thing that should have gone.
By the way, it's definitely not this guy. Like,
backtracking a little, because I said this when we were talking non-spoilers about like, there were a couple moments in this movie that confused me because I was pretty sure that something was missing. The one in particular that I can't stop thinking about is the Milo kill. It was...
I mean, he gets choked. I get it. You don't want to choke her, so he gets choked. So.
He does, but here's my question for you. They drag him away. Like, the rule with the horror movie is if you don't see the dead body, the person's not dead. And they kind of drag him away and put him in the car. So I thought that he was going to be like used in the end to bring her in. No,
he was so dead.
And then so like the killer's whole intention was just to lam in a car and hope she opens the door and sees him. I don't know.
Well, to make her feel, to torment her, like to torment her and have her sit with, again, her guilt in that moment of, what did I do to this guy?
Just
Why did I?
Like the mechanics of the plan.
No, I know. Well, there was no plan. I don't think. I think that was the moment where the movie just turns into, I have to kill everyone.
I was wondering if maybe there was something in between, like them discovering him in the car. Now I'm speculating, and I don't want to create any rumor. I don't want to create any rumors about maybe like that. Like that felt like something that was maybe added after
this
the fact.
This part of it too. Oh, Stevie's alive. By the like, the mid-credit scene is fun. I think the mid-credit scene sets up something more interesting this entire movie has done. But again, it's that throwawayness of like, oh, by the way, Stevie alive. We're good.
This disappointed. This not her being alive.
Well, it's a squib. Ray made the comment before. It's a squib. I get it, but like she's gonna come back as a vengeful.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that.
I don't care.
I am just so upset by how underutilized Sarah Pidgeon is. Gravely underutilized. I say this in my ladies' night with Chase because I like believe it to my core. Thanks to the Wilds, I think that casting her in that role and giving her the opportunity to do like an epic slasher movie killer reveal was the perfect pairing. Nobody does like manic unhinged better than Sarah Pidgeon. And there was nothing there for her. That. She was trying. Like I saw her on the cusp of like doing her thing and doing it so well, but I don't think it was her fault whatsoever. There was nothing to work with. There was nothing to work with in that moment. I was so disappointed. When I was so disappointed that I figured out who the killers were with certainty so early on, I'm like, at least I'll get a big Sarah Pidgeon like killer reveal scene. And then that was just like
the third act feels like a speed run. It feels like a speed run through everything we knew was going to happen. So they just have to wrap it up, get us out, and get us excited for a sequel. But like, it doesn't do that. In the idea of having to process all that scene work so quickly, it ruins everything. You know what one of my favorite scenes at the end was? When Danica and Ava survive and they're having that conversation. Like, I just wanted to see the two of them have like a fun-loving conversation for a while. I think Danica's, Danica is doing more there in that scene. I unfortunately think. Again, sorry, it just, the character, Ava did not work for me in certain ways. It just, I thought it was a flat character, but... And again, Brandy's cameo, that's fun. Like the idea of what Brandy had to survive, and like Brandy being one of the people in the second movie to be like, "Yo, Ray fucking like I don't know, man, I don't know." I guess, and like having that be, I don't know. Maybe that didn't work for me just because I'm disappointed. Well, I'm disappointed. Work is doing credit for me as well. I mean, like that. I don't think. I think it is a fun way to end the movie, and that in a disappointing film. But 90s slasher movies like birthed the film lover I became. I'm disappointed. I'm also such a big fan of so many of the creatives involved in this movie that like I'm like just sad for them. I wanted good things for them too. And I want every movie to be good. Watching this whole movie and then, that cherry on top not feeling like a cherry on top. It was a little bit of a bummer to me. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Yeah, don't do that. Will there ever be a new original? Terrifier. We can't argue that Terrifier is not. Terrifier's up there. I disagree, but I get it. What else is recent? Because Victor Crowley never really took off the way I thought Victor Crowley would. No. There was Chrome Skull that never really took off. I think there are a lot of good indie slashers happening, and I also think there are great, obviously, mainstream slashers happening, but. The ones I really love, The Conference is on Netflix, and I think it's brilliant, but no one watched it. The Conference? It's a Swedish, I forget. It's a foreign movie, but it's literally about a company that goes on a retreat, and there's a slasher that mimics the mascot of the company. And I want to watch this. Yeah. Oh, The Conference is great. I love it. There's another Netflix one too. I think, it's an American one. And now I'm blanking on the title. It's gonna fucking bum me out. I would like to watch that movie. There's one called Initiation. Amelia reminded me. I really like a movie called Initiation. You didn't love it as much. You watched it with your mom. Oh, I do remember that. Yeah, it's a college set slasher. But yeah, Hard Eyes. I think Hard Eyes. Hard Eyes is good.
I think my mind went to, like ones that could spawn a franchise more so than anything.
That's fair. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Hard Eyes can. I would like to see them do another Hard Eyes.
That's the thing. A good slasher can spawn a franchise because how many slashers started just as one movie and they just took off and had to like think of how the Friday the 13th movies have evolved like over the years and stuff like that. A Violent Nature is getting a sequel, so technically that's one of them.
That can count. You could look at Freaky's not getting one, but I thought Freaky played with slasher quite well. Happy Death Day is a slasher movie.
Technically, the second one gets away from it though.
It gets away from it. I do think Happy Death Day deserved a third movie.
Yeah, I actually like the second one more.
You're wrong.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yes, she did.
Yeah, 100%.
She did.
Survived. They say she did, so there's no way to get away from that. But yeah, I think the idea of like those slashers, I don't know why they don't take off as much anymore. And I think we just have to figure out what the current horror audience wants in their slashers and what can actually get it there to become a franchise. Again, besides Terrifier, like I can't argue the fact that like people got tattoos after the first movie, which is insane because the first one is fucking terrible.
It didn't get a sequel, and it's not necessarily a straightforward slasher like a person in a mask kind of thing, but like I like how Babadook kind of rose the ranks and now is like
became
iconic. Like when you list out the iconic slashers, like Babadook is in there.
Babadook isn't a slasher.
I'm not saying Babadook is like a traditional slasher, but like
of iconic horror.
Yeah.
Okay, iconic. Yes. People know the Babadook listed as like
Sam is a slasher.
That is true.
And Sam's got like
we had a second
Sam's got like an empire.
I wish we had a second Trick or Treat by now. That is disappointing.
So do I. I've got high hopes. Mike is doing other good things though.
But yeah, there's a lot of good indie slashers happening. It's just no one's paying attention to them, and that's unfortunate. So I think that's the answer. I think people just aren't as hungry.
Megan could have been a slasher.
Yeah, we talked about Megan too, so that's fair.
Black Phone.
Not a slasher.
That's
The Grabber is totally a slasher.
Not a slasher.
I'd hesitate.
I think we're boxing a slasher into too small a box right now.
But I would never call Black Phone a slasher movie. I couldn't.
That's fair.
I think that as where The Grabber could be described as a slasher, I think I'm going more with the movie itself.
Yeah.
Because I can never call that a slasher.
Fine. I think we're going.
I get what you're saying.
I think we're going too far down this rabbit hole.
Oh,
is there anything else?
Burrow down that hole for days.
We could. Is there anything else you want to talk about with I Know What You Did Last Summer?
No,
spoilers?
It's a mid fucking movie. We don't need to anymore.
Before we have
it's fucking mid. It's not going to get a sequel. We're done.
No.
You think it'll get a sequel?
Well,
what's the box office?
I was going to say
this bullshit.
I feel like someone put in there that it's got a C+ on Cinema Score, which is not
that's bad.
Then again, I think Strangers, but they made Chapter 2 before.
I was going to say they made all that shit. Yeah.
Maybe that doesn't really count. I know what you did.
Because I know they slashed so I looked it up prior, and like they had first run almost like 40 million. I think they slashed it to 19.
This.
Yeah.
Let's see. 11 hours ago, deadline. Blurbity blur blur blur.
Blurbity blur blur blur.
Superman, Smurf. Is there a Smurfs movie coming out?
Yeah.
Shit.
What do you mean it came out?
Oh.
Smurf and Rated did.
Despite any heralding of profit by Sony on I Know What You Did Last Summer with a net production cost of 18 million, 13 to 14 million opening isn't a win. It doesn't indicate any kind of revived interest in this 90s fave property.
It's dead.
Some rivals are betting the movie comes in lower, like 12 million, but the reboot 27 years after its previous sequel is bound for the lowest opening in the theatrical pick franchise.
90s fave?
It is.
Of the slashers.
No.
Of the yes, of the slashers.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that movie has icon status.
I get why, but like, also wait, somebody just said, go watch Dude Bro Party Massacre 3.
Of course you would plug that. All right.
It's a slasher movie. What do you want me to do?
All right. We're going to go have Din Din.
Din Din.
I feel like this probably goes without saying, but maybe I should say it anyway. I'm going to be at Comic-Con, and we'll be working nonstop next weekend. So we are going to take the weekend off from Merri Hour, but then we will be back. At the very least, post pictures and video so we could hear some of the music.
Hey, if you're going to Warped Tour in California, I'll be there.
Yep. And if you are going to San Diego Comic-Con, I don't know. Say hi. Come to a ladies' night panel. But we'll be back the weekend after with a Comic-Con recap, and maybe we should do our top movies of the year.
Hey, we'll get there someday.
We should do that probably. All right. Everybody have a lovely weekend, and we will see you soon with a new Merri Hour. Goodbye.
Goodbye.